Well, the story continues, and the Mongols arrived Rus, and at that time whole of the Rus was nomadic, and the people kept on moving, the tribes kept on moving from one place to another, and this is how they in fact lived their lives. There were no settled communities, no permanent settlement, the villages, the cities, the establishment of sovereignty, or call it a country. So those were the nomadic tribes, and the Mongols came there. The Mongols established a state, the Mongols gave it a sovereignty, and the Mongols made it a country. Well, Mongols led the country for quite a long period of time, and when they settled in, they in fact became the part of the people of Rus. They got naturalized and they settled in these areas, and they became the part of the country called Rus. And then it continued. We could see the Mongol era of the rule in Russia, and then we could say the deputized era for the Mongols in Rus. And it continued for a very long period of time until the Tsars appeared. Tsars were not the external force, and they belonged to the region, and they emerged as the rulers of this country, and they had a long rule as well. In fact, there was no contradicting force for Tsars, and whatever the opposition Tsars had, it was in fact within the Tsars segments. If there were any battles, any military expeditions, these military expeditions were in fact by the Tsars within themselves. So the country went along with the rule of Tsars. And Tsars are known for certain features of their government, certain features of their rule. How did they meant the business of the government? Well, that's not the topic of our discussion right now. How did they rule the country, and what were the things which made them very successful? But one way or the other, Tsars were very successful, and they made their way through the country. A country which was formed by the Mongols was ruled by the Tsars. And Tsars had a very long rule. They continued with the sovereignty of the country, and in fact established settled communities, and these settled communities were only threatened and challenged by the Tsars themselves, so there was no external force working on them, and they continued the country for a very long period of time. And for centuries and centuries, the Tsars had been ruling, and then they were overthrown by the socialists. Well, the socialists needed an ideology to oppose Tsars. Of course, Tsars were far stronger than the socialists, but the communists, in fact, had the ideology of socialism, which was great, and should I say, which was greatest, and they put them down in October 1917.